Hello, and welcome back. This week I had my first sailing lesson, and one of the first things that I had to learn was how to tie a knot. The funny thing is, I tied the right knot the wrong way more than once. I frowned, frustrated, and embarrassed, feeling like a complete idiot. After all, I was a grown man who couldn't tie what looked like a simple knot. My instructor smiled, not because he was laughing at me, but because he's seen the look on my face before, hundreds of times. He knew I wasn't frustrated because of the knot. He also knew something else. In my head, the other students, all in their 20s, were all looking at me waiting for their turn. And I imagined them thinking, come on, it's just a knot. Or maybe, what a dork. Or perhaps he's too old for this. The truth is, they probably weren't thinking any of that. But embarrassment doesn't need reality. It only needs imagination. We tried again and again, and eventually I got it. On the drive home, I wasn't thinking about the knot anymore. I was thinking about why it had bothered me so much. Children expect not to know. Adults expect themselves to. And I wondered, when did we become afraid of being beginners? I don't think it's because we've stopped being curious. I think we're afraid of looking foolish, as I was. Afraid of asking questions we think everyone else knows the answer to. Afraid of making a mistake. But isn't that how we learn? Afraid that someone might discover we don't know as much as they thought, or as much as we thought. So little by little, we stop trying new things. Not because we stop dreaming, because we stop giving ourselves permission to begin. Life doesn't make it easy. There are jobs, families, mortgages, bills, laundry, responsibilities. By the end of the day, learning something new can feel like just another task on an already impossible list. And yet, I've noticed something curious. The people who seem most alive aren't necessarily the ones who know the most. They're the ones who discovered something the rest of us forget. Beginners have a future. They're the ones who never stop learning. They're willing to look awkward. They're willing to be embarrassed. To ask the seemingly obvious question that everyone else is too afraid to ask. To tie the right knot the wrong way. Again and again. Until one day, they don't. This week, I wasn't just learning to sail. I was practicing something much more important. The humility of not knowing. And the joy of discovering that I still can. Maybe that's one of the greatest freedoms we can give ourselves. The freedom to become beginners again. Because perhaps we don't stop growing when we get older. Perhaps we stop growing when we become too proud or too afraid to learn. So this week I'd like to leave you with two questions. When did you become afraid of being a beginner? And who taught you that you were too old to begin again? I hope to see you next Monday. In the meantime, fair winds. Oh, and as for the knot, it never was about the knot. It was about the freedom to begin again.